Hello everyone and welcome back to another very exciting chess game by Paul Morphy. And in this chess game, Paul Morphy has the white pieces and his opponent is his lifelong friend, Charles Maurian, who has the black pieces. And this chess game happened in 1866 in New Orleans, when basically Morphy was enjoying retirement. He retired from the professional chess. So he was only playing chess in some rare occasions behind closed doors, and that was mostly only with his close friend Charles Maurian with giving odds. So okay, let's see what happened in this chess game. Morphy starts the game with e4, e5, knight to f3. So if you noticed, he surrendered his knight before the game, the knight on b1. So this is a knight odds game. Bishop to c4, bishop to c5, and then b4. So this looks like the Evans Gambit, the Italian game Evans Gambit. Bishop takes on b4, c3, bishop goes back, and Morphy castled. d6, d4, charging at the center. These are quite standard. So d5, pushing the pawn and gaining the space advantage, attacking the bishop. And in this position, Paul Morphy pushed the pawn, and he's maximizing his chances to win this chess game with opening some files, some diagonals. So it looks like he's sacrificing the bishop, but Morphy has check. So getting back the piece and also attacking the knight. So with pushing the pawn, actually when he is playing with the knight odds, he is increasing his chances to win this chess game, and he is planning to score an early knockout against his opponent. So knight to e7, lining the rook with the king, a very logical move. And Charles Maurian castled, of course, that was the purpose. That's why he developed his knight. And then Morphy played bishop to g5. This is also a logical move. So pinning the knight. Extra defense to the knight, but you can also ask this question, why not pushing the f-pawn? If you say it, why not f6 and closing the diagonal for the bishop? Well, to be honest, I also asked the same question, and actually in this position, as you can see, the bishop, this is shutting down the diagonal for the bishop. So after defending the bishop, knight to f5, knight to d4, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, black is fighting back, and black is doing very well, actually. So Charles Maurian should have considered pushing the f-pawn and closing the diagonal for the bishop. But in this position, we have rook to e8, which is not the end of the world. So f6 was the move, was the suggestion of the chess computer engine. Okay, so Morphy played e6, pushing the pawn, very logical, and also attacking the bishop. So bishop goes back. You might also ask what happens if capturing the pawn instead of retreating the bishop. Then d takes on e6. Even capturing the pawn was better, actually. So bishop to c6 and queen to f4 attacking, so defending with the rook, and then queen to h4, and this is looking very dangerous. The knight is pinned, so you can see that white has lots of attacking opportunities. So okay, in this position, actually even capturing the pawn was not actually saving anything for black. So you can see that Paul Morphy is slowly getting the edge. So bishop goes back, and it is white to move. This move has a downside, and that is because of a very simple reason. Paul Morphy simply opens the e-file, and this is forking the king and the rook. So king has to take the pawn. King takes on f7, and then checking the king. King to g8. And what would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? Of course, queen to h4, the knight is pinned, and it looks like there is no sensible defense in this position. We have king to f8, defending with the king, and this was actually a very bad move, a horrible move by Charles Maurian. He played some very bad moves, so this was one of them. Actually, can you see the better move in this position? First, I'm not using any engine when I'm analyzing these chess games. I am not a very strong chess player, but I immediately see the move that black can save himself. which is going to save this chess game for black. What would you do in this position if you had the black pieces without using any engine? I saw that move, and engine actually suggests that move to me after analyzing the game, and that made me feel proud actually. So if I give you a few seconds, can you see the move for black? Not moving the king, but there is a better move. And that move is knight to f5, of course. Attacking the queen, moving the knight, but at the same time attacking the queen. So if capturing the queen, then rook takes on e1, check, rook takes, knight takes queen, bishop goes back, bishop takes on h4, and actually black is fighting back actually in this very difficult position. So black is a pawn up, and this endgame should be winning for black. But in the real chess game we have king to f8, and actually this move is not a good move because of queen takes on h7 by Paul Morphy, getting in with the queen. So queen to d7, finally unpinning the knight. And now what would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? Let me give you a few seconds again. If you want, you can pause the video. The move is bishop takes on e7, and this is check. The move is that simple. So rook takes on e7, but this quiet knight becomes a monster knight. Knight to g5 by Paul Morphy, and threatening checkmate. Queen to h8. So Maurian realized that this is a very difficult position to defend. So pushing the pawn is not going to help because of queen to h8, checkmate. So Maurian played bishop takes on f2. He is trying a little trick, but we have king to h1, and this was actually engine's suggestion. When he was in a difficult situation, he plays pretty good moves, but it is too late actually. So in this position, even if you take the bishop, we have check. So actually checking the king and also attacking the queen and simplifying the game. And this endgame is going to favor for black, but of course white is getting back the piece. So after bishop takes on f2, Morphy was not born yesterday. He is not capturing the bishop and moving the king to the safety. And how to defend the checkmate threat? So Morphy is threatening checkmate, queen to h8. So we have rook takes on e1, rook takes on e1, and threatening checkmate. So bishop takes on e1. Question: is the knight and the queen good enough for checkmating the king? The answer is almost. It is almost good enough for checkmating the king. It is not checkmating the king, but it is winning the queen. Can you see how? Just like this, checking the king, only move, check, one of the only moves, but I think if king to e8, then we have check, check, and then check, and this is also winning the queen and the game. So check, Morphy is not missing anything, and then knight to e6. This is also winning the queen, queen takes on e6. And in this position, if moving the king, we have queen to f8, getting checkmated, there is no defense. So knight to e6, queen takes on e6, and Morphy captured the queen and he is threatening checkmate, queen to f8. So in this position, this is the only defense, defending the checkmate threat, but not defending the nasty, brutal skewer. Check, moving the king and capturing the rook, and this is where Charles Maurian resigned. What a beautiful chess game by Paul Morphy. So in this position, okay, black has two bishops and one extra pawn against the queen, but one of these pawns is going to fall, the A pawn or the B pawn is going to fall. And also white has two connected pass pawns in the king side, so this is losing also positionally as well. This is why Charles Maurian didn't want to fight this losing battle. He played some terrible moves, some bad moves against Morphy. This is why he paid the price, but maybe also that's why Paul Morphy was playing with the knight odds against Maurian, who was not a very strong chess player compared to Paul Morphy, of course. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. So take care and bye bye.